why are we in this place to begin with? This was an article from MoneyWise that as of like a couple days ago, Governor Newsom's banning insurance companies from canceling home coverage on for LA wildfire victims. And then it goes on to say, um, explaining like why have they dropped so many? Why have so many people dropped their coverage between 2020 and 2022? Insurance companies declined to renew more than 2.8 million homeowners policies in California, according to CNN. In recent years, many insurers have scaled back operations or exited the state entirely. These include Allstate, American National, AmGuard, Nationwide, State Farm, Travelers, and Safeco. NBC's Bay Area response team spoke with Maria Espada, an East Oakland resident insured by Safeco Insurance for 12 years. She recently learned that Safeco is dropping her policy. Quote, why did they choose me? Because I'm a good customer. I pay regularly my policy, Espada told reporters. State records show Safeco dropped 75 customers in Espada's zip code and 955 customers across the Bay Area. While Safeco declined to comment on Espada's case, the company cited the Bay Area's significant earthquake risk and resulting home fires as a factor in its decision. The rising threats of wildfires, earthquakes, and other natural disasters have led many insurance companies to withdraw coverage in large parts of California. This has created a crisis for homeowners statewide, forcing many to go without insurance. According to LendingTree, more than 10% of all California homeowners lack homeowners insurance. So it's because
I thought you couldn't. Okay, I thought you like had to have insurance, homeowners insurance.
that's what I was under the assumption that when you have a house, when you have a mortgage, I think you have to have, right? Isn't that the rule? I don't know. I don't own a
I
house. So
thought so.
I think if you have a mortgage, it's required by the bank that you have to insure it because they hold the note on it. So they don't want they
So
don't want what they're.
are these homes paid off? I mean, we don't know. We're just throwing that out there, because maybe someone that watches this will know. So yeah, I'm confused. I know people are getting dropped,
Mhm.
but I don't understand how you can be without.
I think it's if you're paid off and you hold it, maybe you don't have. You could probably go without it and not get in trouble. But I know that you can't have a mortgage without insurance. The bank won't allow you to
Yeah.
have a mortgage without insurance.
Okay.
So I imagine that 10% is all people who've paid off their homes and probably have the most to lose because they probably bought their homes for like, two wooden nickels or something and
Right.
like traded in a horse or something for it. And now it's worth $4 million. So, uh,
Yes. No, I just quick story. I have my parents' neighbors. So my parents have lived in their home. They bought it like a year before I was born. So they've owned their home, and of course it's paid off at this point. They've lived there forever, and they have a neighbor that same situation. She's like 2 doors down. They bought their home eons ago. I'm sure it's paid off at this point. But I know for a fact that her insurance dropped her, and they dropped her because of the next door neighbor's tree that was encroaching into her property, and she couldn't get the next door neighbors to cut back the tree. And I think that she even went and like was able to cut what was hanging over into, I think it was an avocado tree hanging over into her yard. And this specific avocado tree is very old because where they live was an avocado grove. 100 years
mm,
ago, 90 years ago. My parents have really old avocado trees on their property that are still producing, but they're like 90 years old.
mm.
And it was literally an avocado grove. So anyway, she has been like constantly dealing with this for months now, trying to get her home reinsured. And yes, it's a fire zone, but at the same time, there's never been a fire in that area my entire life. Like I said, my parents bought their home a year before I was even born. They were evacuated once ever, and the fire didn't actually get there. But anyway, she's in a situation where she's fighting to get reinsured. And you would think that people like take my money. I'm trying to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give you money, and they won't over a stupid tree apparently.
Yeah. Well, to kind of summarize it simply, why insurance companies are fleeing for the exits in California, it's very simple. Insurance companies have actuaries who look at risks based on what they are insuring. So they have to decide like how much is it going to cost to insure X. And they look at all the factors. And actuaries are very good at looking at every single risk factor that could possibly potentially hurt your car, your health, your property, all of this stuff, everything you insure. And at a certain point, California, in their infinite wisdom to try and create a utopia where they're fighting for the little man, when in reality, they've now ended up screwing the little man, they put caps on how much a lot of these insurance companies could raise their rates. And they said, well, we don't want you raising your rates too much because that hurts the little common man. What then happened was the insurance company said, well, if you're not going to let us insure based on wildfire risk and earthquakes and everything like that, what it actually costs to do this, because we're looking at how badly you're failing at protecting homes from wildfires and earthquakes. Sacramento, this is what you should be doing. They said it's not economically feasible for us to do this anymore. Ergo, we're going to leave. That's basically the nuts and bolts of it. If you prevent an insurance company from charging what they need to properly charge to insure a product, they're going to leave because they're like, there's no they want to be in California. Like Luke said on the last episode, they want to be here. They want to insure this stuff. Obviously, they don't want to give up on the market that is California. But if it's not economically feasible, they're not going to carry insurance at lower rates, artificially lower rates for all of these properties that are worth way more with higher risk values. So this is sort of the situation they've created. And now they have to get out of their own way and be like, they have to backpedal and say, no, just kidding. Now you can actually start to base your rates on wildfire risk and earthquake risk and all that stuff. But a lot of harm has already been done because there are so many people who don't have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then
2.8
LA
million
wildfires happen.
which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of homes. May I get philosophical for a moment?
Sure.
Because
Why
you
not?
said you talked about their trying to create this utopia and that actually is a thing. California is trying to create this universal utopia. There is no such thing as a universal utopia. So I am so tired of that, them trying to push that on us because it doesn't exist. It never will exist. Everybody's personal idea of what their utopia would be is different. I'm sure if you and I were to sit down and discuss what like your ideal world and life looked like, it wouldn't line up with mine. I mean, there'd be things that we would agree on, but there would be so many things of like, no, that's not what I want for my life, And so I get so tired of California politicians trying to push that on us financially. I mean, they're trying to force these things on us and it affects us financially. And so it's just, I don't hate Democrats. I just want to say that I do not hate Democrats. But when we get on here and we discuss these issues, we're obviously talking about California Democrats, which are such a different beast than your everyday ordinary Democrats. Like we just have this crazy supermajority who is really trying to push every limit and every boundary and every thing. And I mean, it's just like, and it's bursting and it's breaking and it's drowning us. And so I just really want to clarify that I don't hate Democrats because I think sometimes I sound like I do. And what my hatred or anger or disagreement is literally just with the supermajority of Democrats in California that are running the state and ruining the state. So that.
Yeah. Another product drop. We also have that shirt that says if progressive policies work, California would be a utopia. So we're just dropping product knowledge all over you